Now we're even. We're all settled. Does it count as the Mile High Club if you don't have a partner? And you can't finish? And it's a Greyhound bus? If so, consider me a card-carrying member. Speaking of membership, you guys, this next comedian, oh boy, what a rare treat for us. First time here. You guys, please put your hands together for Ryan Arnold, everybody! Hey, what's up? Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go around the room and everybody's going to take turns saying what they think my deal is. Right? Ready? I'm 32, but I have a hot 18-year-old Dodge Caravan. I named it the General Lee, obviously after the way that it runs. I don't think age should even be a number. I think we should be able to tell people the name of the first album we ever owned and let them extrapolate. I'll go first. I'm Ryan, and I'm MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit. I'm cassette tape single. I now realize that all of those phrases have grown ridiculous since 1991. Mark my words, it'll happen to each and every one of you. Sometimes I find myself longing for a simpler time in this great country's history. Like, remember when fedoras were for when Ninja Turtles were dressed like people? Those were the days. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spend all their time with an adult human woman news reporter who never breaks the story about how there are Ninja Turtles. And looking back on it now that I'm an adult, I think they were trying to fuck her. Which is disquieting, to say the least. And before you get all up in arms, I'm a big supporter of the anthropomorphic mutant animal community. You can ask anyone. But let's get real about something, East Hampton. Your daughter came home with a mutant turtle, ninja or not, because they're not all trained. Found that out the hard way. Am I right? Anyway, you'd be less than thrilled. Dad, this is Machiavelli. That's it. He's from the sewer. From the sewer, huh? Listen, I got enough shit going on in my own life without having to worry about a green mutant trying to shoot his irradiated turtle jism into my little girl. I don't want her to know the secret of the ooze. I don't know if they have turtle libidos or teenage libidos. And I needs to know. Because I don't know which one is worse. I guess my point is that we all have a lot of growing to do. Together. That was my point. I've been told I have a rapier wit, but I've never been told what it's rapier than. So I lack perspective. I agree that variety is the spice of life, so when possible I try to cycle wildly between anxiety and depression. I'm sorry, if you don't know the difference between anxiety and depression, I bet you're not very funny. If anyone's ever told you that you have an artistic temperament, I think that's probably the nicest possible way somebody can say, hey, you're mentally ill. In a way that works for you, occasionally, but not usually. I find mental illness a bit of a night owl, you know? It's like, when I'm trying to go to sleep, that's when it's putting on sunglasses and all like, what the fuck are we doing today? You know when you're a teenager and you gotta sneak back into your house because you snuck out of it earlier? Except now, when your parents have noticed, they're waiting for you in the dark to bust you. It's a good analogy for mental illness, because you're just trying to be quiet and not wake any sleeping giants. You open the door real quiet, and wouldn't you know it, that first footstep is on that damn creaky board. Mental illness hears you, in the dark. Where have you been, sport? And you gotta quickly make up a lie that you think mental illness would want to hear. I was out at the railway station, blowing dudes for crack. Then how come you got your attaché case with you? You were in a job interview. Fuck. Get into the kitchen, pour yourself a birthday cake flavored vodka, and start making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And don't you stop until you hate yourself. How many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches until you hate yourself? Well, 3. Where are my binge eaters at? Anybody else? No? Yeah? So you know how it's the middle of the night and it's sandwich time? And you gotta mitigate the damages from this second sandwich. Right? So you take a piece of bread, and you put the shit inside, and you fold over the piece of bread, and you're like, I just cut the bread in this sandwich down by 50%. I'm a goddamn genius. And then you eat it real quick, and a second later your stomach is like, where's the rest of this sandwich, asshole? And you're taken aback because your stomach doesn't usually talk to you like that. In fact, you thought you were its master. Remember that first guy dies in 7, like the big fat kid, he eats until his stomach bursts? I legitimately worry that that's going to happen to me maybe twice during the week. And it happens, and I get really upset and start screaming like Red Fox, like, this is the big one! I'm going to explode! And so far, I haven't. But that doesn't mean it will never happen. The other day, I bought a Cheech and Chong t-shirt, and I took it home, and I realized it was completely 100% unnecessary. What would I be trying to convey with this that you couldn't glean easily from my demeanor and appearance? Then I realized my face is my Cheech and Chong t-shirt. Wow. What do you know about that? Have you guys noticed all these mischievous crows around? Are there a lot of mischievous crows? You know, if a crow could throw a beer bottle at you, it would. Caw! That's the sound an asshole makes. They're always wondering why they can't get any respect in the bird world. You have any idea what it's like when you're eating a nice piece of roadkill and you're about to take that first bite? It tastes like burned rubber and hair. You're right when you're about to sink your beak in. What do you see out of the corner of your eye? What's that? What's that across the street? That's right. It's a goddamn seagull giving you shit. Can you imagine? Fucking seagulls and crows are enemies. I don't know if I mentioned it. It's not important, I'm not going to bring it up again. So then, some brash young crow says, hey, I got an idea how we can rehabilitate our image. What if we called a group of us something people really like? Like a violent crime of some sort. There was a short meeting, and they decided on murder of crows. After their original first choice, aggravated rape of crows, was decided to be too hot for TV. So that's the story of crow rebranding, and now they get all the bird pussy. And bird pussy is its own reward. That's from the Bible. But enough with the shenanigans. I want to get real for a second. Tell you guys something I've never told anyone before. When I was young, I used to shoplift for kicks. Because they're kid tested and mother approved. That was appropriate. Do you think that there's a finite, fixed amount of sodomy in the world? Or do you think there's enough for everybody? So I smoke weed. I like smoking weed exactly the same amount as I like not being alone with my thoughts. Or alternatively, being alone with my thoughts, but at 100 times their usual volume and potency. So the other day, I'm in my apartment, and I am unceremoniously high and feeling funny. So I take out my notebook, and to my complete and abject horror, none of my jokes are jokes at all. And I feel a panic. What the hell are they? And that's when an optimistic voice inside of me says, hey man, maybe they're haikus. And for 4.5 seconds, this wave of calmness and joy hits me. 4.5 seconds, because that's how long it takes me to count the syllables and realize they're not haikus. They're not haikus at all. But then the next day, when I wasn't high anymore, it turns out they actually were jokes. Thank you.
Keep it going for Ryan and Arnold, everybody. That's a good boy and a decent man. That's my guy.